Let me just squeeze in one. We have a viewer question on NATO that I want to squeeze in before we move on to the war in Ukraine. We have a viewer, Jack Malley from Virginia, is asking you, why was NATO not attractive to Sweden previously?
Well, thank you. That's a really good question. And as I told you, all countries have different histories. And we have been neutral, militarily non-aligned since early 19th century. Before that, we had been in every perceivable war in Europe, and our coffers were empty. Early 18th century, 19th century. So that has been a policy of ours over the First World War, the Second World War, during the Cold War. Our history is very interlinked to the history and the situation for Finland. So after the Second World War, when first there was actually a discussion on having a Nordic defense union. But then when NATO was formed, our Danish and Norwegian friends decided that NATO was the organization they wanted to belong to, given their history before, and that it was very important that the United States decided to be part of NATO. So then Finland had to be in this kind of friendship pact with the Soviet Union during the Cold War. So our politicians of the time deemed it most useful and most important that we stayed militarily non-aligned and neutral to keep the tensions down in our region and also not leave Finland completely alone. So there were many reasons for this. And then, the end of the Cold War came. We saw the world differently. We had other hopes for Russia, of course. Russia is, we've always worked with the Russian population. We have a very close relationship. But the way the policies have been formed, the last 10, 20 years, of course, we have seen a Russia evolving that we were not hoping for. So given that, and now when we have seen how and experienced how a country like Russia, with its military force and its nuclear arsenal, has attacked a sovereign, democratic, independent country for no reason. Of course, things change for us. We see our own situation differently then. So that is why we were, of course, as everyone else, hoping that this would never happen, that the development that we see in the Ukraine would never happen, but now it has. And that has really changed things for us because we have seen what our big neighbor can do. And of course, it puts our situation totally differently, And also we think that, given our defense forces, we will be a contribution to NATO. We have very modern, very well exercised, militarily savvy armed forces. We are a democracy, a stable democracy, fighting for human rights all over the world. We are also, geographically located where we are. And we have been in every NATO operation, as I said, and we are interoperable with NATO. So we have shown our solidarity to the alliance and to our neighbors for so long time. So given that things have changed and we have seen a Russia that we hoped we would never see, this has made us really reflect on what would be the best for Swedish security and how can we contribute best to the security of the region. So that's the reason why now and not before. Long answer, but it's important to get that.
Thank you.